Hey everybody, this is Geo Joe here today with a demo tutorial video on the GV Cloud Access Control solution. And in today's video, I would like to show you how you can quickly and conveniently do a mass import of users and card data. So within the GV Cloud website, whenever you are trying to import users, you do have a couple options here. You can either manually add in a single user at a time, or let's say that you'd like to have a list, an Excel file of all of your users and credentials, and then be able to import that into the system. That is possible within the GV Cloud solution, and I'd like to show how to do that today. Before I jump into the demo, if you find the content on this channel useful, please subscribe to the channel and also consider giving this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the exposure of the channel. All right, so again, we are going to look at importing users into the GV Cloud solution today. When you are on the website, you will want to make sure that you are clicked on the user list over on the left. And the easiest way to be able to do this is right here. You will want to look at your import and export buttons. These are what we are going to be using today. And it'd be best that you add in just one user manually to get started, so it basically creates all the fields that you're going to need in the export document. So what you can first do after you've created that first user manually is hit export, and it will go ahead and create a document that will be an Excel file. You can see it just downloaded it. I'm just going to go ahead and open up that document, and you'll see once the document is open, it has created two tabs here, a user tab and then a card tab. So this gives you all the fields that you need to fill out. Some of these are 100% necessary, some of them are optional. So for example, things like username, first name, last name, email, I would go ahead and fill those out along with user ID. But things like phone, job title, organization, you do not have to necessarily fill these out right now. You can always edit those later by clicking on the user. Now, the other thing is you'll want to, once you finish up with all this information with the user's name and their email address, you'll want to then click on the card tab, and you do need to fill out quite a bit of information here. One is the user ID. So you could just go ahead and go in sequential order. Your username is going to be basically the person's first and last name of how you want it to display. And then you'll want to put in your card number that you're going to use for that user. So that can be found obviously on the card or key fob. You'll want to know what bit rate that you're going to be using. Is it going to be Wiegand 26-bit? Is it going to be the Geo 34-bit? Those kinds of things. Card type, you can leave as 0, and then card status, you'll want to put as 1 to make it, that means active basically. Passcode and PIN code, I would skip this for now. These can be edited once you click on the user's profile. That's where you can assign a PIN number for that user. And then same thing with activation and deactivation date. I wouldn't really recommend doing it when you're here in the Excel file. That can be done when you're actually in the web page. But the last thing that you do need to edit is the access rules field right here. And this is something that you will need to have set up in the GV Cloud webpage prior to creating this document. So access rules are your schedules. So if we come in here under the access rule tab, this is where you have created your schedules for your days of the week and what doors that they apply to. And as you can see, you give your access rules a name basically. And that right here, we've created one called default. So what you'll want to do, going back to the Excel document, is you'll want to choose which access rule or which schedule, if you will, is going to be applying to that particular user. So once you fill out all the information, it's going to look something like this. I have created a few additional users here on lines 14 through 19 that I'm going to then import into the system. And if I click on the card tab, you can see I've gone in here and I've done the same thing. I've added in those additional users, filled out the bit rate, and then also I use the default access rule. So once you do that, of course, you want to save that file, maybe put it on your desktop, and then you can come back to the GV Cloud webpage, and we're going to go into the user list. And this is where we're going to import this new list. So as you can see right now, I've got about 10 users roughly in here. So we're going to import a few more. And what's kind of convenient about this is it does allow you to overwrite your existing users. So you can go ahead and hit import. And right over here on the left, under the user field, you'll want to click in the select file tab. And this is where you're going to look for the file that you have saved. So I named one import file. So we'll hit open there. And as you can see, it's pretty much automatically mapped these fields for you. So you shouldn't have to do anything there. And over on the right, under card file, you'll want to do the same thing and navigate to that import file. But what you'll want to make sure that you do is right here on this submenu drop down, you'll want to select the card tab. Because remember, we had two tabs on that Excel document, and we want to make sure that we're pulling the correct data. So once we get the card data and the user data mapped, we will want to go ahead and hit next. And it will now give us a preview of all of our users that are here. And we can simply hit upload. And as you can see down at the bottom, it gives you a status menu. Obviously, it went pretty quick because I wasn't uploading very many. But it'll tell you upload complete here, success 9 recorded. And you can go ahead and hit close. And it would then allow you to close that out. And you'll see all of your users right here that have been added into the system. So you've got your existing users that were there previously, and then your new users down below. This has been a demo tutorial on how to import new users into the GV Cloud Access Control solution. For further information on our product line, please check us out at www.geovision.com.tw/US. Thanks a lot for watching.